Hello, everyone. So, today we're going to be talking about a very disturbing case, a very disgusting case. It does involve that of a child, a very young child. So, if cases about children and all that bothers you, or it's something that really you can't listen to, please skip this video because there's nothing good about any of it. And when I knew it wasn't good. I'd heard about it, I knew it wasn't good. When I actually got into the details of it, I wanted to be sick. Like, this girl's parents, they give you the ick. They piss you off. I I, I don't know what else to say other than it really just broke me down. And seeing pictures of this little girl and knowing what was done to her, it is just mind blowing that there are that kind of evil people in this world. So, like I said, if crimes against children is something you can't really bear to listen to, or sometimes you can, I would just say opt out of this one, because there's no happy ending really for Nahla, and it's gonna make you sad and sick and disgusted. So the links I used for research will be down below. I suggest you go and learn about Nahla yourself. But like I said, today's case, we're gonna be talking about Nahla Miller. So Nahla was a 4-year-old girl, and she would spend 9 days on life support before she died from her injuries. And when she died, she was only 23 pounds and severely malnourished. And you might be thinking that is incredibly outrageous for a little 4-year-old girl. What happened? Well, let's start with some of the issues and all the stuff leading up to her death, and let's just get into it. So, her biological father, his name is Nathaniel Miller, he did not do this to her. I want to be very clear of this. Like, Nathaniel did not have a part in her murder. He was actually attempting to get custody of her, though, and he was saying that her biological mother, Tiana Robinson, had cut off all contact with him and stopped letting him see Nahla. She actually refused all calls from him beginning in July of 2020, and there was actually a custody trial set for April 30th, 2021, but Nahla was attacked on April 14th. Nathaniel would actually call in wellness checks for Nahla in the weeks prior to her death, but CPS was blocked from entering the home. Tiana would not allow them inside. And that pissed me off, because part of me, I don't understand how you can just say no, you can't come into my house when it's a wellness check. Like, I guess, okay, it's your house, so you do have the right to say no. But at the same time, it's a wellness check. Like, part of me believes that maybe they should just be able to come in regardless, especially when it involves children. I don't know. But that really just upset me. So, Nahla was living with Tiana and her live-in boyfriend at the time, Rensley Washington, in addition to other family members, even Rensley's own son, who I don't have an age or a name for. Rensley's own son was actually abused, just like Nahla was. Fortunately, he would survive, and fortunately, he would be removed from the home after Nala's case. He could have been removed much sooner had, CPS been allowed into that house. So Tiana told Springfield Police Department that she would leave Nahla in the basement for long periods of time without food or water, and that she would beat her child until that child fainted. A 4-year-old little girl locked in a basement for very long periods of time, no food, no water, and she would get beat until she fainted. What kind of fresh hell was that baby going through? It's disgusting. So we're gonna get into what made this happen, like what caused her to kill her child. So Tiana said that she and Rensley left Nahla home alone while they went shopping at Kroger. Just to reiterate, Nahla is a 4-year-old child, and her mother and her mother's boyfriend left her home alone so they could go get groceries. I've never met a 4-year-old child that could take care of themselves. Upon returning, Nahla had urinated on herself because she wasn't toilet trained, and Tiana snapped. So you leave your 4-year-old child home alone that you know does not know how to go to the potty by themselves, and when you come home, they've peed on themselves because, as a human being, they have to go to the bathroom, a normal human response. And instead of taking the time to have toilet trained them, like you should do as a fucking mother, you instead snap and kill your child. Because that is a normal response, Tiana. Absolutely fucking normal. Yeah, I just snapped because my child peed themselves. Whew. Okay. So Tiana admitted to punching Nahla multiple times before strangling her until she stopped breathing. Nahla had the following injuries: a broken left arm, bruising to the lower lungs, adrenal glands, diaphragm, liver, stomach, colon, pancreas, and mouth. She had bleeding in the muscles in her throat, bleeding in the back of the head, a significant burn to the back of her right hand. Reading that makes me sick. I don't. Well, we know for a fact that she had been abused for a long time, so just how badly was she harmed this time that she had all of these injuries? Like, let's just say for a second that most of these came from this one attack. I can't imagine losing myself like that. I can't imagine being so angry that I beat a child like this, and these are their injuries. Just to reiterate her injuries: a broken left arm, bruising to the lower lungs, adrenal glands, diaphragm, liver, stomach, colon, pancreas, and her mouth. She also had bleeding in the muscles in her throat, bleeding in the back of the head, a significant burn to the back of her right hand. What the actual fuck? That is disturbing and disgusting. So there was also evidence of long-term abuse. She was scarred head to toe. She had a history of strangulation marks, including ligature marks on her neck, and had a healthy, or not a healthy, I'm sorry, had a healing broken rib, lacerated hymen, and vaginal bleeding. What? I, I mean, I don't want to know because I'm disturbed to even think about it. But what was happening to your child? This part specifically really got me. That they had a lacerated hymen and a vaginal bleeding. That is a 4-year-old child. They do not bleed that early. Who was doing stuff to that baby? You know what I'm saying? Like, why was she bleeding down there? And the fact that she was just scarred head to toe. She's a beautiful baby girl and she was just scarred head to toe. The photos you're seeing, if she's not, you don't see scars on her. Imagine that baby with scars head to toe. Ligature marks on her neck. Broken ribs. You should be disgusted. Like, it makes me want to throw up reading this to you. Hamilton County coroners, they ruled, of course, that this was a homicide, and it was a homicide by strangulation and blunt force trauma. Tiana has been charged with 1 count of aggravated murder with a death penalty specification. Thank fucking God. I go back and forth on the death penalty. I do believe some people deserve it, and in this case, I 100% believe that she deserves it. My belief is that if anybody deserves the death penalty, it is people that harm children. She also has been charged with 2 counts of murder, 1 count of felonious assault, maybe I'm saying that wrong, and 1 count of endangering children. I hope she gets the death penalty. I was nauseated reading this. I don't understand how you can do this to a child. Like, I'm grossed out by it. I truly hope she gets the death penalty. Rinsley was charged with endangering children and obstructing official business. I have not seen anything in any of the articles I read about him being charged with like murder or anything. I suppose not, since I guess technically Tiana is the one that did it. I guess I'm just surprised he didn't get charged with more. But maybe more charges will come out. As far as I also have seen, there hasn't been a set date for a trial. This was back in 2021. I know that COVID slowed a lot of things down, so maybe they just have not been able to get to this case yet. So I have not seen anything about like a set trial or anything like that. So obviously we don't know what their sentences are going to be, but this is something I'm going to be keeping an eye on. I am heartbroken for Nahla. She is a she was a beautiful baby girl, and she should have had such a better life. I so wish that Nathaniel had been able to get custody of his daughter. Honestly, her death could have been prevented, and I kind of feel like I don't necessarily think she snapped. I think Tiana just didn't want Nathaniel to get custody of her, and maybe there was a good chance he was going to. And I think maybe in a way, this was her way of stopping that. She could have snapped, like she said, but I feel like this was very angry. And this had been going on for a really long time. So I don't know if this was just her snapping, you know? Like, it just feels very angry. But maybe. I don't know. I guess I'm not shocked, but Rinsley could have, he could have stopped in and stopped his girlfriend. But I'm not shocked. Obviously, he's okay with his own son being abused, and I'm so thankful that little boy is somewhere else. Hopefully, he's in a safe place. I know that CPS isn't necessarily the best. Kids will go into foster homes that aren't the best, but I really hope that at least he is somewhere that's better. No child should ever be in a home like this ever. There's no reason to harm a child like this ever. And if you think it's okay to harm children like this, you are disgusting. But my thoughts are to Tiana. I'm sorry, not to Tiana. Nahla. I'm looking at my notes right now, and my eyes are. I'm just staring at where I wrote Tiana's name, and so her name was in my brain. I am not thinking of Tiana. My thoughts are to Nahla, and to Nathaniel, and to all the people that loved and cared about Nahla. Tiana can go fuck herself, as can Rinsley. And my thoughts are also to Rinsley's little boy. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sorry for having to tell you this despicable story, but because it hasn't went to trial yet, I wanted to tell you guys about it, to see if you guys have heard about it. But let me know your thoughts down below. When talking about Nathaniel and Nahla and Rinsley's little boy, please be respectful, just because sometimes families do find these videos, and they deserve those kind words. As far as I'm concerned, you can say whatever you want about Tiana and Rinsley. They suck. Just be respectful about the actual victims in this case. But thank you so much for listening to Nahla's story, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye, guys.